Hi, my name is Rick Howell. I'm a TV guy, and this show is called Talk Back to Television. It's about the business of television, how we make the programs, how we distribute the programs, and mostly how we pay for the programs. Because if we can't pay for the shows, there's nothing to watch. Stay tuned. Good morning. This is Talk Back to Television, and we're going to have an interesting show today. I am here first with Brad Samuels from Eagle Dock Media, and after about 5 minutes, he's going to go away. We're going to get his son on from the same company. Brad, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to participate in this new reality show format where you have a father and a son, and they get to give each other a hard time. We'll see.
Oh, you know what? A hard time, dude, with me in the middle. So anyway, all right. So you are talking to us from Long Island, and give us a real brief summary of your career in this industry.
I spent many years in the pay TV business and distribution with places like MSG Networks and MTV Networks and Bloomberg. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've segued into connected TV with Scripps Networks, but recently, over the last year and a half, Eagle Dock Media, which is a consulting firm in the connected TV space, where we help content owners and platform owners with strategy and business development.
Okay, so, and you're working with your son, which has to be interesting. How did you make that decision?
You know, that guy on the kind of photo back there is my dad. And my first job out of college was selling radio advertising for the little radio station he owns. So we've got kind of a full circle thing going on here. I was a lot younger when I joined his company versus Brian now, but it is interesting. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great for our business because I was on my own. And when Brian came in, given his experience, particularly at Pluto over the last several years, and my experience as more of a content company distribution guy, we're kind of hand in glove in terms of our experience and how we can help companies in different parts of the industry doing different things to help them, optimize and launch new businesses and do better within their existing footprint. So it's been great. It's been 4 or 5 months, and so far it's gone really well.
Cool. And in spite of the fact that he's your son, he's still allowed to get pissed off when you call him at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday because it's 10 a.m. your time, right?
We've had a lot of time zone issues, and I think the only real fight we had is over the logo because I liked our old one and he wanted a new one, and I gave him that one. So he's won one fight so far.
All right. He's going to pick up the ball on this in a couple of minutes. Tell me again, what does Eagle Dock Media do for content owners?
Yeah, so we specialize in the fast AVOD kind of CTV space. So we help content owners who want to enter the space with the strategy on pulling their channel together, how to position it, how to bring it to market, how to get distribution, but across all the different pieces of what it takes to run a fast channel business. And then we also have some clients, and Brian can talk more about this, that are app developers or app companies who want to bring a new app to the marketplace. And with all his experience at Pluto, in content acquisition and also operations, we can also, and he's got a really interesting client now we're working with who's going to launch a new app. So it could be a platform, but more likely it's going to be an existing or new fast channel that really wants to understand how to run the business and how to get the attention of the platforms who are the gatekeepers to getting distribution.
All right, we're going to do one quick little bit of cross-channel promotion. Look at this. This must really be television. Sponsor of my Friday Fireside show is Sabio, and they're a new client of yours. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing for them?
Absolutely, real quick. So Sabio is fantastic. We just ran into them a few months ago. They are a very interesting ad tech company, an SSP, a DSP, and also a data company in the CTV space who wants to get into being also a programmer, a content channel manager. They've got a really great idea to leverage YouTube content into a one or more fast channels, which we think they're going to do that in a way that's really smart and really interesting as a new kind of wrinkle into the fast channel programming space. And they have a lot of really great ad tech and solutions around that monetization area that we think we can bring into the conversation with the fast platforms as well. So it's a few months away from launching. We're still getting together, but really smart, really fun people to work with, and they're very strong in the area of diversity. And so we think we can help platforms figure out how to reach those audiences more effectively, which is really important.
Excellent. All right. I'm going to ask you to leave. I'm going to ping your son. He's going to come on, and through the magic of television, Brad's going to turn to Brian. So, Brad, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
And through the wonder of television, I now have the son of the father-son duo. How you doing, bud?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having me.
So your dad was talking about how the two of you work together, and the fact that he's your dad, you still doesn't keep you from getting pissed off when he calls you at 7 a.m. Pacific time on a Sunday. Those kinds of things. Tell me a little bit about your background and how it relates to what Eagle Doc is doing now. We've got about 5 minutes.
Surely. Yeah. I mean, in short, I spent the last 6 years helping build and grow Pluto TV's free ad-supported television business. My role was 2 parts, 1 part project management for all channel updates for the domestic business. So, responsible for hundreds and hundreds of channel launches and takedowns and everything in between. Secondly, content partnerships, right? So I'll sign deals and manage partnerships across our news, sports, and music content verticals specifically. So had a couple of people on my team, helped grow out that part of the business, got a lot of great experience and built up a useful network to learn a lot about this fast industry in a short amount of time.
And you brought that to Eagle Doc Media. So now let's take a specific example. I probably have 300 episodes of my various and sundry shows, and somebody pointed out a couple of weeks that, gee, well, you got enough stuff to start a fast channel. If I wanted to start a fast channel, briefly, what would you do with me for me?
Sure. Yeah. So we'd help analyze your catalog and position it in the best way possible to these gatekeepers at all these different platforms, making decisions about what channels and content joins their, catalogs. But besides helping, get their foot in the door and help negotiate advantageous deals to be a part of that platform, we help guide best practices and operational steps along the way, like bringing on a video service provider, delivering your content to a video service provider.
Not losing your shirt to a Moggy.
What's that?
Not losing your shirt to a Moggy.
Exactly. Right. I mean, making sure that you're making smart decisions about, the little, money that you may have to spend to get this thing up off the ground and make it as cost effective as possible. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, as simple as it may seem, to, get your content built into a channel and uploaded into all these different platforms. So I've got a lot of experience in doing that. So yeah, we help every step along the way.
I would assume that if a content owner already has an established brand and a fan base, a certain amount of intellectual property that is unique to them, they have a better shot at launching a fast channel. But we're recording this on a Tuesday, and by my count, 13 new fast channels launched this morning. What are the channels? What hit channel would you say is not yet available that should get launched? What's the one that's missing?
That's a great question. And I think that's the question that all these platforms are asking themselves all the time. Most recently, it's about being able to leverage these older catalogs from these established network groups. It's hard to look away from the likes of these reality TV shows, crime, classic TV, that are just guaranteed winners and have been for, in some cases, decades.
Yep.
So, these teams are lean at these platforms. They need to make smart decisions on how they invest their time and money. And oftentimes it's an easy choice to bring on, the Kardashians or Cold Case Files versus taking a flyer on something unknown or, niche. So yeah, it's definitely a more uphill battle if you don't have an established brand or a following, but I think these platforms are still giving an opportunity to those types of content creators, given they want to be different, right, than the next platform, instead of having the same list of 300 or 400 channels as the next guy.
All right. When I post this, we're going to be tagging you and your dad's LinkedIn addresses, but your email is brian@eagledocmedia.com.
Yep, brian@eagledocmedia.com. I encourage you to reach out if you're curious to connect or talk about how your business could use some help, getting off the ground or even growing in its existing space. Plenty of our clients are established fast channels or platforms that are looking to tighten up their best practices. We have some great advice in terms of aggregating data, which can be a huge challenge for these lean teams on these channels. How do we get all this data from Roku and Amazon and Pluto and get it into a place that we could actually, make it useful,
decisions,
right? Make decisions, help our channel get better. It's still a little bit of the wild, wild west in terms of that, data aggregation and analysis. And we have a pretty unique perspective and expertise in terms of gathering that and going back to those platforms and making sure they're providing the best, data at the most frequent, cadence possible to, again, equip these channel distributors to make the best channel possible.
Cool, man. All right. Well, listen, we are out of time. But speaking of the wild, wild west, that's what I grew up in. That's what your dad grew up in. So, you're just carrying on the tradition of a television cowboy. So
history repeats itself, apparently. It's exciting space to be, and appreciate, again, the opportunity to join and share a conversation today.
Thank you much, and we'll see everybody then next week on Talk Back to Television. Bye-bye.